These 10 players nearly changed the future of Manchester United. Mbappé? A done deal, almost. Haaland? Turned them down. Ronaldinho? Just one phone call away. We're diving into 10 world-class stars who were inches from wearing red, but the deals fell apart. This is not transfer gossip. These are real stories, real regrets, real history. This is Top 10 Players Who Almost Signed for Manchester United. Let's go. We start with a player who could have been the heart of Manchester United's midfield, Cesc Fabregas. Born in 1987 in Barcelona, Fabregas was the product of one of the best youth academies in the world, La Masia. By the age of 16, he was already making his mark in Barcelona's first team, but soon it was Arsenal that swooped in, offering him a chance to shine in one of Europe's best leagues. At Arsenal, Fabregas quickly grew into one of the most gifted midfielders in the world. His vision, his ability to unlock defenses with a single pass, and his football IQ were unparalleled. In the 2007 to 2008 season, he led the Premier League in assists, and many were already calling him the best midfielder in England. Despite this brilliance, Manchester United saw Fabregas as the ideal successor to Paul Scholes. Sir Alex Ferguson was interested in him, and United's first real approach came in 2003, but Arsenal was not willing to let go of their golden boy. United's second approach came in 2011, but by then, Fabregas had deep ties to Arsenal and made it clear he wanted to return to Barcelona, where he'd started his career. Fabregas went on to win La Liga with Barcelona, but in the Premier League, fans often wonder, what if he'd joined United? Would he have been the midfield general Ferguson needed? Thiago Alcantara, the Spanish magician who could have added some serious class to United's midfield. Born in Italy to Brazilian parents, Thiago grew up with football running through his veins. A product of Barcelona's famed La Masia Academy, he was touted as one of the best young talents in the world. By 2010, Thiago was already playing regularly for Barcelona's first team under Pep Guardiola. At Barcelona, Thiago was an artist in the midfield, pulling the strings and setting the tempo of the game. His dribbling, passing range, and vision made him a fan favorite. But it was in 2013, after he helped Spain win the European Championship, that the phone calls from Manchester United came. Sir Alex Ferguson had targeted Thiago to replace the aging Paul Scholes. But just days before the deal was set to be completed, Ferguson unexpectedly retired. David Moyes, Ferguson's successor, had different plans, and the deal was never finalized. Thiago then moved to Bayern Munich, where he thrived under Guardiola. Thiago went on to win numerous titles with Bayern Munich and later joined Liverpool. But many still wonder, what could have been if he had joined United in 2013? Would he have been the creative force in United's midfield for the following years? Wesley Sneijder, a name that still haunts United fans to this day.
Sneijder!
Born in the Netherlands, Sneijder's talent was evident from a young age. He joined Ajax's academy and quickly broke into the first team, eventually moving to Real Madrid. But it was at Inter Milan that he truly cemented his place among Europe's elite. Sneijder was pivotal in Inter's historic treble-winning season in 2009 to 2010, where they won Serie A, the Coppa Italia, and the Champions League. His vision, passing, and shooting ability made him one of the best playmakers in the world. United had been tracking Sneijder for years, but despite negotiations and an apparent agreement in place, a move never materialized. The deal fell apart due to disagreements over transfer fees and wages. Sneijder instead stayed at Inter Milan for a few more years before moving to Galatasaray. Sneijder's career was glittered with trophies, but his near miss at United remains one of the biggest what-ifs in recent football history. What if he had joined United? Could he have been the creative force to lead them back to the top of Europe? Alan Shearer, the man who could have been the ultimate striker at Manchester United.
Shearer! Goal!
Born in Newcastle, Shearer was always destined to lead the line for his hometown club. He began his career at Southampton before moving to Blackburn, where he would go on to become one of the deadliest finishers in Premier League history. In the mid-90s, Shearer was the hottest striker in Europe. His lethal right foot and aerial ability were unmatched, and in 1995, he fired Blackburn Rovers to the Premier League title. United came calling, but Sir Alex Ferguson was keen on signing Shearer to replace Mark Hughes, but despite United's interest, Shearer chose his boyhood club Newcastle instead. It was a decision rooted in loyalty, a decision that shaped his career. Shearer went on to become Newcastle's all-time top scorer, but many fans still wonder, what if he had joined Ferguson's United? Shearer remains the Premier League's all-time top scorer, and his loyalty to Newcastle is legendary. But it's impossible not to wonder how different things could have been if he'd chosen United in 1996. Ronaldinho, the Brazilian wizard who could have been Manchester United's magician.
That goes with Ronaldinho. Working his shooting chance, perhaps Ronaldinho. Here he is, Ronaldinho! Straight.
Ronaldinho's rise to prominence started in Brazil, where he dazzled with his flair and creativity. His skill on the ball was nothing short of magical, and it wasn't long before Europe's top clubs came knocking. By the early 2000s, Ronaldinho had established himself as one of the most exciting players in world football. His time at Barcelona, where he won 2 La Liga titles and the Champions League, was a golden era for the club. In 2003, Ronaldinho was just one phone call away from joining United. Sir Alex Ferguson was desperate to bring the Brazilian to Old Trafford, but in the end, Barcelona swooped in and secured him. The rest, as they say, is history. Ronaldinho would go on to achieve global superstardom with Barcelona. Ronaldinho's legacy is undeniable. He changed football with his smile, his skills, and his charm. But what could have been if he'd chosen United instead? The idea of him in a red shirt is a fantasy many United fans still dream about. The Argentine forward Paulo Dybala, a player United fans nearly saw join in 2019.
Per Dybala, attenzione, va la gioia, Dybala!
Dybala grew up in Argentina, where his talent shone through at a young age. He made his name at Palermo before moving to Juventus, where he quickly became one of the most exciting attackers in Serie A. At Juventus, Dybala's combination of flair, vision, and finishing made him one of the most sought-after forwards in Europe. In the 2017 to 2018 season, Dybala scored 22 goals in Serie A, becoming the focal point of Juventus's attack. United was on the brink of signing him in 2019, but personal terms and image rights issues caused the deal to collapse. Dybala stayed at Juventus for a few more years before eventually moving to Roma in 2022. Dybala's time at Juventus was filled with success, but the dream of him playing in the Premier League never came to fruition. United missed out on a star who could have changed their attacking fortunes. Gareth Bale, the Welsh wizard who was almost a Manchester United player.
To the box and Bale opens.
Bale's rise to prominence started at Southampton, but it was at Tottenham where he truly exploded onto the scene, using his blistering pace to terrorize defenders. By 2013, Bale was one of the most dangerous players in Europe. In 2013, Bale won the PFA Player of the Year and was linked with a world record transfer to Manchester United. Sir Alex Ferguson was determined to bring him to Old Trafford, but it was Real Madrid that won the race for his signature. United's interest was clear, but after Ferguson's retirement, Bale opted for the bright lights of Madrid. His subsequent success in Spain, winning multiple Champions Leagues, left United fans wondering, what if? Toni Kroos, the German midfield general who almost became a Manchester United player.
What a strike by Toni Kroos!
Kroos was a star in the making at Bayern Munich. His intelligence, passing, and control of the game were second to none, and by 2014, he was one of Europe's most coveted midfielders. Kroos was a key figure in Bayern's treble-winning season in 2013 and a crucial part of Germany's World Cup winning team in 2014. United's interest was clear, and Sir Alex Ferguson wanted him to join the club to dominate English football. But after Ferguson's retirement, Kroos chose to join Real Madrid. United had failed to secure his signature, and Kroos went on to win multiple Champions League titles with Madrid. Kroos is one of the best midfielders of his generation, and his legacy will be defined by his role in Real Madrid's dominance of Europe.
Again and again and again! Gomez, Haaland!
Erling Haaland, the Norwegian striker who turned down Manchester United in favor of Borussia Dortmund. Haaland grew up in Norway, and from a young age, his physicality and goal-scoring prowess were clear. After making waves in Norway and Austria, he burst onto the European scene with RB Salzburg, scoring goals at a frightening rate. At Borussia Dortmund, Haaland's goal-scoring feats were unmatched, averaging more than a goal per game in the Bundesliga. United was heavily linked with Haaland, and many fans thought a deal was inevitable. But Haaland's agent, Mino Raiola, steered him away from Old Trafford, and Haaland chose Dortmund for the next step in his career. It wasn't just about money. It was about playing time and development. United fans were left to watch as Haaland's goals led Dortmund to greater heights, and now at Manchester City, he continues to rewrite the record books. Haaland's legacy is still being written, but his decision to snub United remains one of the biggest regrets in the club's recent history. The French phenom, who was inches from joining Manchester United, Mbappé's rise was meteoric. Growing up in Paris, he quickly became the most exciting young talent in world football. By 2017, at just 18 years old, he was already being linked with the top clubs in Europe after a stunning season with AS Monaco. Mbappé's peak came quickly as he helped lead France to World Cup glory in 2018. His pace, finishing, and intelligence on the ball made him one of the most feared forwards in the world. United had been in talks with Mbappé's camp, and many believed the move to Old Trafford was a done deal. But PSG swooped in, and Mbappé signed for them instead. United fans were left heartbroken, watching as Mbappé became the face of Paris Saint-Germain and one of the brightest stars in world football. Mbappé's legacy is still unfolding, but his decision to choose PSG over United is one that will forever be remembered. Could he have been the player to take United back to the top of European football? We'll never know.